All right, we are live.
How's
Hey,
it going?
how's everybody going? Hopefully we've got a decent amount of people that are going to be joining us. I know we normally do things at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, but we have something scheduled here at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So we just wanted to make sure that we got you guys some really great content on this Friday. And we're going to be going over showing you how to do things with finding cash buyers. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and show this really quick. If you guys can see and hear us, give us a thumbs up. It's right below the video. Just give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. We just want to make sure that everybody is good to go before we start moving forward. Mike, why don't you say a few things too so people could hear you as well?
Yeah, make sure I'm coming in good as well, folks. And I'm really glad that you guys are taking time out of your day to join us. Just like Jason said, him and I were on a call actually just before this, talking about business growth, things we're going to be doing, not just in the next 60 days, 90 days, but actually Jason and I were looking at the next couple of weeks. Just, with the deal flow, with everything kind of turning around, we can start seeing the things open up and so forth. So actually what Jason and I are going to be talking about today is going to be incredibly important with filling up your pipeline in the upcoming days, because as we've talked about in past lives, Facebook lives, I mean, not lives, but Facebook lives, things aren't going to open up as quickly as everybody seems to think. It's going to be a slow transition. Business is going to be a little bit different for everybody, not just us. So keeping those things in mind is going to be really important.
Yeah, and also too, we've got Rebecca is here. She's giving us a thumbs up. Also, if you're here, just go ahead and chime in. Let us know where you're at. It's always cool to find out where folks are at in the world. So go ahead, type in where you're at today, how things are going in your neck of the woods. And as you can see on the bottom here, this is being recorded. We are live now. It's 12:02 p.m. Eastern, so we are live right now. But for folks that may need to jump off or whatnot, I just want to let you know that it is being recorded. So thanks for chiming in, Rebecca. Really appreciate that. Also, too, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we put out videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So definitely hop on that. Make sure you become a subscriber, because when you do become a subscriber, you'll receive notifications of when our videos come out. So we release videos 3 times a week. This week is going to be the exception. We're doing another video tomorrow with my attorney, Mr. Matthew Griffith. So if you haven't already hit the bell for that, let me go ahead and show you guys how to do that, just so you could see what that looks like. Let me pull this up on my screen.
Looks like we got Wild Bill on here. Hey, Wild Bill.
Oh, we got to make sure that people. So we've got Mitch, the Holy Land #3, South Florida. Jonathan Crook, Northeast Ohio. Welcome. Oh, Wild Bill.
Good to see you.
And Rebecca's from Salt Lake City. Very cool. Don here, brand new. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the channel. He's brand new, and he's from Dade City, Florida. Very cool.
Cool.
Welcome. So let me show you this really quick, because it's really cool. You don't need to register or anything for these live streams, which is cool, because if you are in a hurry and you need to do things, I completely understand. So we want to make these very easy for you to do. So let me show you what to do here. I'm going to share the screen so that you guys can see it. Just 1 second. Let me get open. We've got some other individuals.
Yeah.
Mike, can you see the screen okay?
Yeah, looks good. Gotcha.
Okay. So let me show folks this really quick. Let me show you exactly what to do here. So you see on this screen here, as long as you set this, you'll actually receive a reminder to your phone, and you'll be good to go from that standpoint. So that will help you out quite a bit. Just click that button. You're registered. You're good to go, and you'll receive a notification. We don't get any of your contact information or anything like that. But if this is going to be a real good one.
That is a good look. How happy they look. I mean, come on. How good couldn't it be with how excited him and Matt look? Come on.
And for those of you that know, for those of you that actually don't know, Mike is the one that puts together our amazing thumbnails. He does an excellent job. So we found that picture of Matt. Matt normally doesn't do those types of faces because he's an attorney. So we'll see what he thinks after that. We've got Mr. Jeffrey Ader.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing, man?
Hey, we're going to be, Jeff, we're going to be doing the Matt Griffith one tomorrow. Today's Mike and I, we're going to be going over cash buyers, but hey, welcome. We've got David from Houston, Texas. Al, hey, what's going on, Al? Good afternoon. Oh, Jeff, no problem, buddy. We've got Paul, first time hearing you live. You provide, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was really cool. Very, very cool. So thank you so much. Let me go ahead and click stop there. So before we hop in, how's everybody as far as like their cash buyers? Do you have legit cash buyers? Are you looking to make your list a little bit higher with more quality folks on it? What does that look like for you? Because one of the things that we want to do, we're going to obviously be talking quite a bit about cash buyers. I'm going to show you some of the strategies that we use because today is all about how to find real cash buyers for your real estate wholesaling business. It's really, really important that we do that. Mike, why don't you kind of touch on that just a little bit before we hop in and start showing folks how they could put together a list. Like I'm talking, you could put together a list here and you could have it done before the end of this weekend. So go ahead, Mike.
It's incredibly important to get this going. I mean, especially like I said, if you hadn't noted a little bit ago, Jason and I were talking about short-term, upcoming, just a couple of weeks, what we're going to be doing. We talked about a little bit of our buyers in the past. We are going to get into more detail now. And actually, one of the things, Jason, I've been promising I was going to tell people this, and it's going to fit really nicely with how important it is and how easy it is to have these conversations and building up your buyers list. So, but it's going to be a story about Jason back in the day, building up one of his first early connections, developing what you're going to feel or find out with this building cash buyers, a mutually beneficial arrangement where you guys can both succeed. And Jason did this first. I mean, I know we're talking about cash buyers in 2020, but I'm going to go all the way back to Jason. What year would you say that was, man? I know grade school time frame, wasn't it?
Had to have been probably early to mid 90s.
Okay, so early to mid 90s. So make sure I mean, I know some of you probably heard me talking about this in the past a little bit about bringing this story up. So if you guys, have questions on that, just let me know. But what it's all about with the cash buyers and everything and how important it is to get going, because right now, as the market shifts, as things start to reopen, as people start having to either sell their house due to circumstance or because they want to move on to something else, you're going to start finding people that want to sell their homes or need to sell their homes. And the people that were buying in big amounts before, or at least, through our conversations, they might still be holding back a little bit because they're trying to still figure out how things are going to go, what are the new rules and so forth. So it's going to be really important that you shore up that buyers with new blood, new people that are going to go ahead and act right now, because the flood isn't going to stop. Once those doors start opening up for people, as we talked, like I think on the last video, Jason, with Jason Palliser with tax delinquent people, as those doors start opening up, I think I got on the phone call. I don't know if you're on the John is on this call, but with a student seller, he called frantic is the word that it was supposed to me, because he got the notice from the tax sale, and I was out in California. The whole delay had stopped. Now the notices were saying, hey, you are going, and it is this date. And he called frantic because he owed like $150,000 in past due taxes. And it was $1 million property, so there was obviously a lot of room on there. But that's my point. Like now is the time to. There's not a lot of people that can always act on a property like that. So you want to make sure, hey, as soon as that guy's ready to commit, as soon as that thing's ready to go, I got somebody who's going to buy $1 million property off of me for, 200,000, 300,000, whatever it is. They're going to do that right now versus, I'm not counting on past promises. I don't want to say that way, Jason, but you know what I mean? Like things are changed. Investors are trying to learn the rules. So it's important to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I firmly agree. And if for some reason my internet connection goes like lagging, I don't know why, because look, you can see it's absolutely beautiful. It's not focusing. but it's absolutely beautiful outside today. It's sunny. I don't know why I would be lagging here.
Coming in good now, though. You're coming in good now.
Okay, so let's hop into it then. I'm going to share my screen. And for those of you that aren't aware, I absolutely love LinkedIn. And I know we talked about it in the past. How many of you guys actually have a LinkedIn profile? I know Jeff knows this strategy. He knows about the cash buyer stuff. How many of you guys, and if you have questions at all while we're going over this, make sure you put that in so that Mike and I could get that answered for you. We'll pop it up on the screen. We'll workshop it together right here as we're doing this. So how many of you actually have a LinkedIn profile? Mike and I are on here, and it's absolutely a great thing. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Can I? Yeah, there we go. So let's see here. Are we getting some people responding?
Yeah, David said he's got one. No, Paul, I'm sorry. Paul, you said you got one LinkedIn profile. I mean, it's in this day and age, it's hard to say I don't have a social media profile, but LinkedIn is kind of one of those that flies under most radar just because it's super niche with business.
Yeah, for sure. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. And as we have some folks, we have some folks. I believe it's Toussaint. No, this is we're live right now. It's 12 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, we are live, my friend. It's not a robo webinar.
Yeah.
John has one. Rebecca. Yep. Paul said he had one. David has one for his job. Yep. Okay, cool. So yep, we are live. So if you guys have questions while we're going over this stuff, feel free to do that. So I'm going to hop in here. So one of the things with LinkedIn that we absolutely love, let me clear this stuff. So one of the things that we absolutely love with this is being able to find people on LinkedIn. It's grown exponentially since I started using it back in 2009. And it's got quite a few people. So let me show you what we do to try and find some folks. I'll give you a lot of backdoor tricks and whatnot that we use. So say, for instance, you want to find a real estate investor, just type real estate investor up in the search engine box, because a lot of people do have real estate investor up in their title. And if you're not familiar with a bunch of stuff on LinkedIn, we could go over that. Just let me know in the questions box if you have anything. But what we do is we come over here, we click on people. And once we click on people, we're going to be able to see a decent amount of results. So 374,000 results. Now, if you have a LinkedIn premium account, you're going to be able to see more people. You're going to be able to see actually a lot of people. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to filters, and we're going to only want to look at second and third connections. Then you could get it really dialed in from a geographical standpoint right over here. So I'm going to type in Indianapolis, and let me know. A lot of you typed in and let me know where you are from. If you want me to, I'll take a look at people in your area as well. And I just leave it at these ones for right now. I'm going to click apply, and it's going to show 1,100 results. So what I typically like to do is I like to go after people and connect with them as long as they have a picture. So I'm going to take a look at this individual right here, Jimmy Phillips. So I'm going to let you guys in on the secrets that we do for finding people that are active, because you don't want to just send your connection requests off to people and they never respond to you. So Jamie has his picture. Oh, Jimmy, not Jamie. And there's no background picture. Okay, so it's just the regular LinkedIn profile picture. Now you guys could easily get one done on Fiverr for $5. I'll show you what mine looks like so you could rip it off and duplicate it in your business. The other thing too is the URL hasn't been customized, which is super simple. It takes probably less than 5 seconds to do. Again, I'll show you that here in just a moment. And the cool thing is he does look like he's active. He's got the 500 plus connections, which is good. He doesn't have a whole lot about himself. It looks like he just became a real estate investor pretty recent, so January 2020. But before that, he had a really long career. So he might be somebody that's in real estate, and Jimmy might be somebody that's really wanting to get some things done. Another thing that we look at here is interests. So I'm going to click on see all, and I want to see what groups he's in, but he's not in any groups. So that's not necessarily a super bad sign, but it does lower, what I'm thinking is as far as connecting with this person. Let me see here. Okay, I just want to make sure that I wasn't getting blown up from an emergency standpoint. So this is the way we would do it, is I would want to click on connect. Now you get 300 characters to send this person more of a customized message. Now, if you just click send invitation, it's just going to come across and say, I just want to add you to my LinkedIn network. So it's just a really broad, it's just nothing custom about it. So what I do is I do this. I'm going to put, hi, Jimmy. I'm looking to connect with other real estate investors in Indianapolis. We're coming across off-market properties. So yeah, let me read this back. I'm looking to connect with other real estate investors in Indianapolis. We're coming across off-market properties and wanted to see if we can do some business. Talk soon, Jason. So very simple message, and I'll blow this up here just so you guys can see it. Let me click exit on that. So this is what it looks like. Very short, sweet. I shouldn't say sweet. It's very short and to the point. So it says, hi, Jimmy. I'm looking to connect with other real estate investors in Indianapolis. We're coming across off-market properties and wanted to see if we can do some business. Talk soon, Jason. So very simple message. So far, is this all making sense for you? Because one of the things that I really want to see as well is that they are in some sort of groups. So hopefully on some of the examples that we're going to go over today, and these are real people too. So I'm going to send off these invitations and see if we could actually connect with these people, because I don't know Jimmy. Maybe I don't know. Jeff Ader is from Indianapolis. I'm not sure if he's still on or not, but I'm not sure if he knows him, because Indianapolis, I wouldn't say is like super big, but individuals that are in real estate, we tend to know each other here in the area. So I'm not familiar with Jimmy, but he's got 500 plus connections, which is a good sign that he's somewhat active. Let's see if we've got some questions coming in. Mike, do you have anything that you would like to add on that?
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with being a little sweet in a LinkedIn message, right? Once in a while, just trying to build a real connection.
Well, the thing I will say is the thing that really is a major downer is when you have people that are just, as soon as you connect with them, they send you like a pitch. Mm-hmm. And I would highly recommend, once you get in contact and you connect with somebody, don't just send them like a pitch, because at the end of the day, that's not what people are wanting. Like some of the ones, Jeff says he doesn't know.
He doesn't.
I don't know, Jeff.
Well, you got to look at it from this standpoint. I mean, you are building a connection, and we're going to talk more about this, especially when I bring up Jason's story after we get into this one a little bit. But you're building a relationship with somebody. How do you build a relationship with somebody if you just punch them in the face with what you got? You got to seduce them a little bit. You got to do the little dance, and you got to enjoy it. It's not you, and you got to do that dance and do that seduction without thinking like, oh, I got to do this. Now I got to figure out no, you should be like, I get excited. Oh man, I'm going to connect with Jimmy. Let me really look and see what groups he's in, and figure out a way that it's a real connection you got to build, not just, each little message. You could see Jason didn't copy and paste this from something he had sitting down in his notepad. He typed it up as he connected with Jimmy, and each one, if he did that, it would have a sensible little bit of feeling to it, like an actual, hey, I'm a real connection, Jimmy. So like somebody asked you, is this call live or robo or whatever? No, like I'm a real person, Jimmy, and I really want to do business. Let's see what we got.
No, exactly, for sure. And does anybody have any questions so far about where we're at in the process, like how I found this person or anything like that? And the other thing too is if you have a LinkedIn account for maybe your job, that's completely fine. What I would recommend is set up a separate profile so that it doesn't interfere with your job. And you are able to do that. You just need to have another email address account. So hopefully that makes sense.
Would do for another job anyways.
What's that?
I said you would more than likely have another email address for another job anyway. So there you go. Easy.
Yeah. So I'm going to click this send invitation and see what happens. Now, like I was saying in the emails, and if you saw on the Facebook post, like what we're wanting to do with connecting with people is you can put together a really great list, probably within the next 24 hours, if you're really gung-ho on this strategy, which if you need cash buyers, this is a really great step to getting that done. So let me click X on here. Let me just get out of here. Let me click skip done for now. So here's the thing too. Let's say I haven't heard back from this person. Rule of thumb is I typically want to give them about 72 hours if I don't hear from them. So if that's the case, like this person was 5 days ago, I'm going to click withdraw. And you could see 48 seconds ago, and you could see the message that I sent. Okay. Now I'm going to try and find somebody else that we're in the same group with. But at this point, what I would do is I'm not going to click the withdraw button. And again, that's under my network. I'll do it again for you. My network. And it's under manage for no pending invitations. So I'll highlight this real quick. No pending invitations. You click on manage. You come over here and you click on sent. And if you want to, you could withdraw. So again, rule of thumb, 72 hours, 72 hours. Now for me, I might be able to see a little bit more people than you just because I have almost 12,400 connections. But you got to understand, I've been on here for a really long time. I've been on here since 2009. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys the thing. So you can get this as your background. Super simple to get. You could go on to Fiverr and just, look up profiles, images. And here's the other thing too. You could customize the URL. That is done over here on your profile. You see where it says edit public profile and URL. You come over here and you could edit it. So you click on this little pencil looking thing and you could edit it to however you want, and then you're good to go.
I know it seems like such simple little things, but the devil's in the details.
It does make sense to make it to a point to where you've got this customized. In my opinion, it just shows that you're an active individual on LinkedIn. Is this something? Oh yeah, you guys can still see it. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is the thing that helps out quite a bit. Now I'm pretty active on here, so I do post quite a bit. Some of you may have seen what I did earlier, but you can see here for interest, and I'm going to show you this because I'm in a lot of groups. And the thing with with LinkedIn, you could join right now, I believe, 100 groups without having a premium account. Because as you can see, this is a free account. Sometimes I'll do the premium, but I think I've been on premium 2 months out of the 9 years that I've been on here. So it's not something that's necessary. The only time that I'll activate premium is to try and connect with somebody. So you can see all of these different groups that I'm in. A lot of them too are for hedge fund stuff. So if you guys want to know more about the hedge fund stuff too, we can maybe do that in another session. We could gauge some interest. So if you guys want to type in, you're breaking up again. So sometimes I'm not able to, just FYI, Mike, I'm not able to see that when I'm on the LinkedIn screen. So if you guys have interest in some of the hedge fund stuff, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to let you guys know. So
Charlie brought up a great point. Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too.
So what did you use as the search term to find Jimmy? So real estate investor. We're going to hop back into that here in just a second, Toussaint. Charlie, Des Moines, Iowa, been losing deals. Buyers are way too conservative at the moment. Yeah, Mike, you want to kind of talk about that a little bit too?
Sure. So, like we kind of said earlier, and why this is so important about building up your buyers list, and why we're talking about cash buyers today, because like Charlie said, he's been losing deals. A lot of the cash buyers that you might be used to dealing with, like for us, even the ones that bought a lot of our stuff, we'd had conversations with, and they told us they were pulling back, and the amounts they were pulling back, and for how long they were pulling back, and for the reasons they were pulling. I mean, like everything. So we, rather than lose deals. And when I was talking about the floodgates open up and like the frantic seller we talked to recently, because hey, the tax sales are starting to happen again. You're not going to be able to rely on a lot of those contacts. And like Charlie, you're going to be starting to lose deals because the people you know, the people you developed may have started to become more conservative, especially at this moment, because country's still barely opening up. Things are going, and it's going to go. I mean, you should just probably plan for 2020 to be completely different than anything you've seen before 2021, and then maybe things happen again. But anyways, yeah, like this is exactly why, because right now you're going to talk to these new buyers that are going to be like us. They're going to see also the the light at the end of the tunnel, whatever, the grass on the other side, whatever. They're going to see like, hey, in another 60 to 90 days, these investors that had pulled back, the ones that Charlie's talking about that have been losing deals because of, they're going to start reactivating themselves because they're going to want to get a jump start on 2021, right? Right now they're kind of pulling back also because rents are, going the way they are and stuff. So you just got to imagine, all right, I just got to find these new people that are that have already learned the rules, right? The people that have been investing, my main investing buyers that have been relying on, they're pulling back, they're becoming conservative. I got to find those new guys that have kind of pre-learned the rules to what's happening right now.
No, exactly. And Charlie, I firmly believe there are investors. I believe there's going to be a lot more investors than there were in 2008 that are coming out and they have cash. A lot of people have been waiting for this moment to happen. Not necessarily like, is a virus gonna be viral and it's gonna be a pandemic? That's not what I mean. I mean, like, people were expecting some sort of a recession to hit. Either it was going to be now, or either it was going to be in a couple of years from now. But a lot of people have been waiting. And what I mean by that is they have been putting together and pooling cash, like lots of individuals. So if you were around for the 2008 part for real estate investing, you saw that like hedge funds were crazy with pooling up funds. Multiple billions of dollars were pooled up for probably one of the best times in economic history for you to be able to purchase properties for literally pennies on the dollar. Do I see that happening again right now? I'm not sure. I don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately. David brought up a good point. You could get a free trial for premium, and that's what we've done. I think out of the times that I've tried it, I think I've maybe paid 1 or 2 times for it. So yes, we've got a lot.
If you get it and then you expire it, LinkedIn will offer it to you again eventually.
Yep. Yeah. And yes, some of the bigger individuals are not buying anymore. You had some of the iBuyers popping in, like Open Door, Zillow. Yeah, they're not buying right now. Rebecca, should I have changed? So let me show you really quick. Rebecca brings up a good point. So for mine, this is different. This is kind of like more for like branding and imaging standpoint, but I have another profile that has the titles. So you guys can use some of these titles if you would like. But the main reason why, I would recommend that is because it allows you to get searched easier, if that makes sense. Just like what I did with finding that individual, Jimmy, that helped out from that standpoint. So great question, Rebecca. Yeah, I would recommend that you change it for sure. Change up the title. You could do several of them like I have right now on mine. And I believe, let's bring up Mike's as well. There's Mike's. The same thing. He's got real estate investor in his. The other thing too, I would make sure don't like really put too much in there about real estate wholesaling. It's more of a professional type platform. So once you do start connecting with individuals like hedge funds, they're not going to want to see that it states anything like you are doing anything with real estate wholesaling. They don't want to know that if you guys get connected and they give you deals that all you're going to do is go ahead and flip them. They don't care. But just I wouldn't have it out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a stigma thing, just make it easy.
Yeah. So again, let's maybe check out Des Moines, Iowa. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on real estate. And again, so I'm going to continue to do this so that you guys, get this. I'll do people. Okay. And now it brings up my filters because that's what I was using. So I'm going to change the area. Let me see here. Let's see. It's not going down. So let me go back out. So let me type in real estate investor again. And we'll try Des Moines, Iowa. So I'm going to click on people. And then I'm going to click on filters. It should pop it up this time. Let's see here. So this is the thing with doing live. Sometimes things don't want to work for you all the time. Am I going in and out at all?
No, everything's coming in clear. I think it's just LinkedIn slowing down for you.
I'm not sure what the deal is here. So I am clicking on filters.
Well, you're chopping out a little bit right now.
It could be my internet connection. Let's see. How am I coming in and out?
It's coming in and out right now. It's a little choppy, but you're still with us a little bit.
Right.
Just goes to show you, it's the live. It really is live. You wouldn't record and broadcast slowdowns. Here he comes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. It comes in a little broken up, but yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know what the deal is. It's kind of going slow here.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for LinkedIn to come around, what we can do is talk about some other areas to look for cash buyers, if we need to as well.
Go ahead and keep talking while I'm doing this.
How about, folks? How about we do this, folks? Because I did promise a story, all right? And it's going to play into what we're talking about, okay? Now, this is about building relationships, finding value, just like you would do with a LinkedIn connection. Sorry, I bumped this thing. Just like you would do with a LinkedIn connection. As you can see, he's filtering through. It's coming in pretty good now. But anyways, back in, I don't know, what would you say, 6th grade was this? Probably around 6th grade time frame. When you got to think, this is back in the early 90s. At this time, the technology wasn't what it was now. So our goal, or what we did for fun, was run around the mall. And for those of you who've been there, you know what we're talking about. Well, we also at that age didn't have any money. So we would get dropped off at the mall. Jason and I would run around. We were doing our shenanigans.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
My mom worked at the mall.
Okay. But I'm saying, like, we didn't have money in our pockets to go buy lunch. Like, we didn't just like, oh, we can go buy whatever we want. Like, we got dropped off. Yeah, his mom was there, so his parents were there to check on us. Not like we were just free.
Oh, my mom was there.
Yeah. So anyway,
she worked at a
tail here. All right, this is
you're missing something.
No. I'm not misremembering. You know what? You can edit it later if you want. Right now, this is the full blown live truth. Okay, his mom was there. I do remember that. So thank you for bringing that up. But anyways, we did our, had our fun, and then we got hungry. And I remember Jason and I were sitting down in the cafeteria area, like, man, we would really like some pizza, because they had Sabaros. And Jason just walks over to there. I know he doesn't have any money, and he comes back with a slice of pizza. I saw him over there, and he's talking to the lady, and he's nodding his head, and she's looking down, talking to him. And I'm like, what the heck is he doing over there? Like, I have no clue. And then he walks around with this cheesy smile, and he's got a tray with a slice of pizza. And he just sits down in front of me, starts, eating his pizza, like, nothing. And I'm like, dude, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, nothing. I just went over and talked to her. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know. She just looked like she was having a bad day. I just went over and talked to her. And then he's like, after he finishes his pizza, he's like, I'm still hungry. So he goes back over to the lady, has another conversation, comes back with another slice of pizza. In the end, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, dude, how did you do that? Like, I'm curious. She just literally gave you not one, but two slices on two separate occasions. He's like, I don't know, man. I mean, she was telling me she was having a bad day, and I was just listening to her, and she was telling me, all this stuff. And then I just had a conversation with her. And in the end, she was thankful and was like, here, would you like a piece of pizza? And gave it to him. And I reflect on this all the time, because with conversations we have, especially with building cash buyers or anything in this business, leads or whatever, you always got to think about the other person, and you listen to them. I'm like, yeah, all I really have to do is, this lady didn't shoo Jason away. Get out of here, kid. Yeah, with your free pizza. No, he just walked up, had a conversation, and listen. Like, he didn't talk as much as he listened. And now same thing with cash buyers. Hey, I'm a real estate investor. Oh, great. What are you doing? Like, I've learned, tell everybody you're a real estate investor. Like he said, don't say wholesaler, just say investor. Yeah, I buy and sell properties, whatever. And then listen to what they say. Oh yeah, I've been having trouble, like Charles. I've been losing buyers I'm sorry, David. Or no, it was Charlie. I've been losing buyers in Des Moines, Iowa, and losing deals. Okay, well, I'm just listening. Where could I step in and provide value? So all of a sudden, Charlie's coming to me like, man, Mike's awesome. He's like the coolest guy ever. Here's a free deal, Mike. Just if you find a buyer for it, let me know. Here's another one. Just continuing to provide that value. Or talking to other cash buyers that, man, I would love to buy a property. And like, we have some hot spots here. Jeff, you probably know I'm talking, like in Broad Ripple and stuff. Like, investors, they would love to have cash flowing properties down in these areas, because that's a great area. Well, just building up people, hearing what their woes are. Yeah, I can't find this, or I need funding that, or whatever it is. Kind of like Jason did way back in the day. Just sit there and listen to them and figure out how you can inject yourself to be that valuable person. What is that? Come on. That wasn't bad, right? That doesn't make him look bad, folks. I mean, tell me if you didn't.
Well, we had a couple people drop off, so I'm not sure if they like the story.
Come on. You guys didn't learn a lesson from that? I mean, I was a young kid thinking, it's not about getting free pizza. That's not what he went up there for. He just, I mean, yeah, the end goal is a win-win situation. How can I get free pizza and give this person something other than full price money that I don't have? What else do I have that's equal value to a slice of pizza? Or what else do I have that's equal value to a property, or so forth? I mean, like, really, how do I create value of myself, of the tools that are in front of me, the things that we have that are at my disposal? Literally, the internet puts everything at our fingertips at this point. And all you have to do is have conversations with people, or like on LinkedIn, sending little messages and just saying, hey, I'm a real estate investor. Here's what I do. I'm doing this, or I'm finding that. And, I see that you have property, or you're buying property, you're doing this, or you're doing that, whatever it is. And then building the bridge.
Hey, we had one person that liked it, Rebecca.
Okay, well, thanks, Rebecca, for being in my corner on that one.
Oh dear. So let me see if this whole thing on LinkedIn is working. Am I coming in clear, Mike?
You're coming in better now. It's a little choppy, but you're still coming in.
Oh crap. All right. So we're in Des Moines at this point.
There we go.
So let me take a look at this individual, Martin, and let me see what his deal is. Ooh, 54 connections. So the bare bones minimum I would recommend is 300 connections or more, because 54 connections is really low. Mike, you could probably, we've done hundreds of training sessions on LinkedIn. Why don't you kind of expand on a little bit too with the people that have a low amount of individuals?
Well, I mean, it's like anything else. If they don't have a lot of individuals, or if they're not in a lot
Paul
of,
like story.
yeah, good. See, great training in the story. You guys get it. It's not, it's an entertaining little story. You can imagine the two of us running around the mall, playing hide and go seek in Wix Furniture, and then building up an appetite for some free pizzas. But then Jason being the only one to
Well,
get the
you
pizzas.
missed the point with my mom. She worked at Gloria Jeans, which, if nobody remembers, this was before Starbucks got big. She worked at Gloria Jeans, and they had these things called the was it the GJ chillers?
Killer, yeah.
And I had no idea really at the time what it was. I thought it was just kind of like the chocolate milk type deal. And needless to say, it had a ton of caffeine in it. And there was whipped cream sprinkles, and Mike and I would always get these big ones for my mom. And we would literally be running around the freaking mall. Like, one of the big things that Mike always hated, I remember this. I would always want to go and try on like new Michael Jordans. And Mike would be like, "Why are we doing that? You don't even have the money to buy them." And I would just be like, "Well, I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them soon." I would always kind of like project that off, like, "Hey, I'm gonna find one way or another to get these shoes." But we would be all over that mall, and yeah, the people at Wix probably hated us. I don't even think Wix is around, but just
I don't think, not anymore.
It was a big showroom. It had to have been at least 40,000 square feet in this mall. And they had all these places, and Mike and I would sometimes get lucky and possibly get another person to tag along with us, one of our victims. And we would play tag. And Mike and I, if we were the ones that were hiding, we knew this great spot, and nobody would ever be able to find us because it was almost hidden. But it was completely legal in the rules of tag. But nobody could find us. We would feel so bad at one point that we would come out and be like, "Hey, we're right here. Come find us."
It got boring after a while, just sitting there like, all right, we know they're not going to find us. So, but again, there's another lesson in what Jason just said. He was like, "I'm going to have the money for this at some point." And for those of you, and we'll save this for another time. I don't want to get too much into story time on this one, but for those of you that don't know, Jason was into the entrepreneur thing before I was, and he developed the business before I jumped into it, and then helped, because I was in the military, and I had a very kind of linear mindset, and being told what to do, doing it, and then stepping up. I mean, like, it was real linear, and it was great training. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not knocking the military by any means. It's a necessary point in my life, but I'm saying, like, there was an entrepreneurial mindset that's not really taught, and he understood it at a young age. And then he, as a friend, helped me understand, like, oh, I'm going to have the money for this. And I would be like, okay. And then he'd do things like this, and just as being a friend, but, understanding and like opening the eyes up. Okay, there's a different way of thinking. It's not just like, oh, I can't do this now because I don't have, it's like, okay, well, how can I get, these Jordans? How can I get a new deal closed? How can I find a buyer for $1 million property that I don't normally have one for?
Yeah, that's true. So let's go back into here. We saw Martin didn't have, the individuals that we needed to proceed forward. So let's take a look at some other ones here. We'll take a look at Alan. And let's see, Alan's got the 500 plus connections, which is good. That's a good sign. And then we come over here to the URL, and he doesn't have a customized link. The good thing is, though, he's got the picture. Let's see. And right here, we've got 2 mutual groups. So this is good. This is a point that I wanted to show you that you can do, is you can use the mutual groups as a way to kind of get in with this individual. So we could show the mutual groups that we have here. And we could say that we're connected a couple groups together. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to put, let me see here. So yeah, hi, Ellen. I wanted to connect as I saw you were both in
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, so we're seeing what you type, but it comes in a couple seconds after you do it. So
So can you hear me okay?
yeah, now you're coming in.
Okay. Um, and hey, if you guys do not have Grammarly, I would highly recommend that you get it. I use it quite a bit. It's just a plugin that you can use for things, because sometimes I'm not the world's best speller. It's not using. Okay. So let me do this. Want to connect, as I saw we both are in a couple of groups. Oops, a couple of
Yeah, I think you got the couple words mixed
couple
up
of groups on real estate investing. I'm coming across off-market deals. I'll say properties in the Des Moines area. Let's connect if you're interested. Talk soon. So let me get the Des Moines part. Des Moines. Let me fix this one. And let me see if I could do this. There we go. So you guys can see what I said. I put, hi, Alan. I wanted to connect, as I saw we both are in a couple of groups here. I'm going to change this. I don't like that. Couple of real estate investing groups. That sounds better. I'm coming across, what do they want me to do? Oh, I don't want to use estates. I'm coming across off-market properties in the Des Moines area. Let's connect if you're interested in doing business. Let's see. That'll probably go away. Yep, it did. So, and then you just, put like a talk soon, Jason. That's normally what I say. Mike, is there anything that you would add there?
You can, if you want, specifically mention which group you're in. So, hey, I found you in this group.
Yeah. And the main reason why I didn't on this one is because the group names are really long and you only have 300 characters. So if it's a shorter name group, then yes, I'll do it. So great point, Mike. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, just that. Really, that's it. Just really narrowing it down so they can tell that it's not a copy and paste message. I mean, there's nothing wrong with creating this template and putting it on a notepad and then copying and paste it in there. But then each time going in and changing something, adding something, just so the person knows you're not one of those people that Jason talked about earlier. As soon as I get a connection, I'm going to get, this 2,000 word message from you about what you do and how great it is and how quickly I need to give you my information.
No, absolutely. And how would everybody like to learn about a hack that you can use without having a premium account? If you guys would like that, type that in yes right now. Also, make sure that you guys are giving us a thumbs up so that so let us know that you can hear us. I want to make sure that you guys can hear us. So make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you guys would all like to hear about this, it is essentially a hack on LinkedIn's platform. And it's really great, especially if you do not want to do the route with premium, because premium can be like, what is it, Mike? $69.99 a month?
Yeah, it's close. It depends on if you pay annually, I think, or if they change that or whatnot. But yeah, it's like 60, $70 monthly.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure you guys have, I've had this subscribe thing up for a while. Make sure you subscribe, because tomorrow we're having Matthew Griffith, my attorney, come on. So if you need any type of advice from that standpoint for learning how like LLCs, asset protection, there's a bunch of stuff too where people think, hey, I need to have an LLC in Nevada or South or North Dakota or Delaware. Well, we're going to talk about all that, because a lot of people out there just want to get money from you to put things in Nevada. Like I was very green when I first got started back in 2008. So I was like, yeah, I want all this special protection in Nevada, and I don't live there. So there's a lot of things we're going to cover tomorrow. So definitely don't miss it. We've got a lot of people. I like this one. Hack away. Nice.
Well, I mean, especially tomorrow, because I know that this attorney stuff and legal stuff can get kind of boring, but Matt, every time I hear him explain, not only do I get it, but I enjoy it because it's like, oh, he breaks it down so Barney style that it's like, oh my God, how could I not understood? How could I not have understood this? Or how could I have missed this before? You know, like, trust me, if you're confused or even slightly bit misunderstood on the way entities work, you definitely need to hear what he has to say.
Well, even if you're a little bit more seasoned too, Matt is always, being extremely helpful to any level. So let me show you this hack really quick. So just remember his name, everybody, Alan Hammonds. So I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go to this group. Okay. I'm going to head on over to this group. And since I'm a member of the group, here's the deal here. Make sure you guys are all writing this down. You click on see all. This is really important. So make sure you guys are watching and make sure you're jotting this down. It's recording. So you could always come back and take a look at it later.
Are you past that connection click? Cause it's still on the mutual groups thing.
Oh, okay. I see what it did there. Let me do this. Let me click share screen. So it only allowed me to share that one part. So let me do this.
I just want to make sure you guys didn't. I knew what you were looking at. I knew, but I knew you guys might need to see it.
All right, let me go back then, because I don't think everybody saw it. So here I am. I clicked on that group that Alan and I are mutual in. So once I do that, Mike, are you guys able to?
We're in the group. You're in the Pete Asmuth group, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So once we go over here, we click see all. So this is the important part. You see, there's 583,000 members. That's a lot of members. Come over here, you click see all. And his name, does everybody remember? Alan Hammonds. Okay. Does everybody see what I just did there? Take a second. Breathe real quick. Look what I was able to do. I'm not even connected with Alan, but here's what I could do. I don't have to be a connection of Alan's. Okay. The mutual part with the groups, that's going to be key if you don't want to waste a ton of connection requests. Okay. So look at this. Watch this.
Because LinkedIn does cap you if you didn't know. They put a limit on you.
Yeah. So make sure you're only doing connection requests to people that are active on here. This is a way right here to show you how not to. So look at that. I just copied and pasted that. Watch this. I click send. And Mike, look at this. Do I have a premium account? Look up in this upper right-hand corner. Do I have a premium account right now?
To in-mail somebody that you're not connected with, you need to have a premium account. So if Jason had searched for Alan Ammons and tried to send him a message, he wouldn't be able to without paying for, the in-mails. Whereas Jason just hacked you into the group. He said, if you share a mutual connection group, you can, instead of paying for the messaging, backdoor message them through the group. So if you find somebody you want to connect with, or you find somebody you want to message with, just look to see what group they're in, join the group, and then send them a message. Find out if they are legit, if they are somebody you want to connect with, if they're going to respond to you. It's super ninja hack.
How many of you guys were just blown away by that? Because we literally just saved you a ton of money, a ton of time. So instead of going out there and sending off a bunch of connection requests, do you see how powerful that was just to do that? Like, this is stuff we share with our folks that have paid to get into some of our training. Now, we obviously go and show a ton more with different messaging that you can use, but literally, I don't see anybody else sharing this type of information.
Super high, super high level. This is like a peek into, hey, the backdoor way to building real connections.
Yeah. Like, look at this. We just were able to send a message without having an account. A premium account, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get onto LinkedIn. I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. No, you don't have to pay for anything. It could be absolutely free.
Well, and then, but let's emphasize why we're talking about that. Whether you're a seasoned investor and you have a business that's going, or you're a newbie and you're trying to build a business, your marketing budget is very important, you know, and $60 a month, $70 a month, that adds up, especially if it's something you're not using the premium features for on a regular basis. You know, when you're building LinkedIn has awesome premium features, and you'll find when you use them in periods. You know, it's like, hey, for the next 30 days, I'm building up my list. So I need to use these premium features. But then you sign up for LinkedIn Premium, you forget that you're not using it a month later. There you go. Now you spent you saved yourself 11 months of payments where you didn't even use those premium services. That was that right there, 11 months of those payments. That's a mailer right there, you know, a deal that would net you 20, 30 grand. So, you know, that's a big deal.
This is one of the things that if you let's just say you're on a shoestring budget or you're not on a shoestring budget, this is a very intelligent way to go about building a cash buyers list, like a list pretty rapidly, in my opinion. Now, is everybody going to be a legit buyer? More than likely not. But here's a great question that I always ask people. So make sure you guys are tuned in and you're wanting to hear this. The big thing is make sure you give us a thumbs up on this video. If you're already enjoying it, make sure you give us that thumbs up. Whenever I talk to folks, get them on the phone. Okay, get them on the phone. Make sure that they are somebody legit. Now, if they're overseas, do a Zoom call. Zoom, Mike, isn't Zoom free?
Zoom does have a free. They cap you on what you can do on the free, but even on the paid account, it's negligible on how much it is. But Zoom free gives you one-on-one meetings, and I think you get up to 45 minutes or something, or 45 minutes or less. How long are you going to really stay on a call? 5 or 10 minutes with one person? You can use Zoom free for pretty much until you develop, like, and you're doing stuff with conferences and meetings and you have a team, you'll use Zoom free until that point. And then, like a lot of these services, that it'll scale with you. Okay, now I need to pay for Zoom, but guess what? I'm not paying for Zoom. My business is going to pay for Zoom.
Yeah, and the whole reason why I was talking about that with Zoom, especially right now, so you know, you could pick up and do the phone call anywhere in the United States, but doing the stuff. Okay, so this is a good question. Yeah, Al. Yeah, I thought it was 40 minutes. 40 minutes on Zoom. It's free. Good stuff. So how can we find sheriff sale cash buyers like the ones in Indy without even attending the sheriff sale? How can we search them out since now, because of the COVID shelter in place? So Jeff, that's a great question. Right now, they're not going to be doing any auctions right now. Everything is shut down. So the best thing that I would do is what we normally do. Right. Yeah. There's no monthly auctions right now. Yeah, Jeff. So there isn't any of those going on right now. So for you to find those individuals, you could, the only really way to do it is to find out the list of the properties that are on the chopping block, right? That are going to auction. And then what you do is after the auction, I would maybe check it out in like maybe a week, 2 weeks. And then you could find out who the individuals were that purchased those assets at the auctions. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, without actually having to go to the auction. You could also go on. Here's another trick for everybody that is wanting to know. You can go on to the MLS and you could look at, let's just go and look up sold auctions from like maybe 3-6 months ago. And you can find out all those individuals, and then you can find out who was actually buying those properties. That's a huge one right there, because those are people that are actually buying, and you can make sure that you're finding out who's buying for cash, because that's the main thing, right? You want to go after folks that are actually buying those properties with cash.
Yeah, I know on the tax sale, they even tell you the LLC of who purchased or who won it at tax sale, so you can just quickly skip trace. And then while you're approaching these, you know, auctioned off properties, like Jason said, you have your cash buyer right there. Whether you get that property and flip it back to them or not, this person has, especially if you're looking at all the lists or at least a good chunk of it, you'll see which ones bought multiple, put cash down on multiple properties. I mean, right there, you've got a list, and then you know exactly where they're buying properties. Even if you have no intention on acting on any of this stuff, you have people that are buying in cash at auction.
Yep, absolutely. And just to bring this up, I want you guys to all make sure that you see this. Al brought it up, 40 minutes on Zoom. So if you do have an international meeting to do, highly recommend the Zoom. The face-to-face interactions, those are really key. So this is what I was going to say earlier. So we had some people drop off. Oh, well, for them, their loss. So here's what I would say. Once you start getting connected with people, and this is people that you haven't seen that they've closed like transactions, like the MLS strategy that I just recommended for recently sold deals, you could obviously find out like, hey, they did buy the deal. But if let's just say you're wanting to connect with people on LinkedIn, best thing to do is once you do become a connection with that individual, have a conversation with them over the phone and just say, hey, I want to get us set up so that we could start doing some deals together. Do you have a specific title company that you like closing at? Okay, right there, bingo. Find out who they're actually closing deals with. Because if they don't have a title company, then they more than likely aren't closing. Or if you're in an attorney state, get the attorney information. So what I would recommend at that point is once you find out the title company, just be like, hey, is there a escrow agent over there that you like to close with? Is there a closing coordinator that you like to close with? Get their contact information. Okay, get their contact information. Main reason why is what this is going to help you with is it's going to help you get the contact information. You could give a call over there and you could be like, hey, Sandy, I'm just giving you a call. I was recommended to give you a call from Rick. He told me to give you a call mainly because we're going to be closing some real estate transactions together. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit. I wanted to find out like what do you require from a submission standpoint so we could get title work set up, and then we could eventually get things closed with you guys. Find all that out, let her talk or him talk, and then just be like, hey, I was just curious, when's the last time Rick closed a transaction with you guys? Bingo. Okay. You can find out pretty quickly if they've closed or not closed any deals. So if she says, oh, he hasn't closed anything, Mike, is that person going to be a cash buyer or a dud?
That's a big bomb right there. That's dead deals. That's where you're going to be like, man, you're going to think you got this incredible list. Oh, I got 10 people that are ready to act. And then you get this awesome deal. And that's when you find out, if you didn't call the title company ahead of time, that's when you find out, no, they haven't closed any deals. And what you sent them was still not their first one.
Right. So that's a great way to do it. Now, if they haven't closed at that particular title company, I don't know if I would necessarily discount them right away and never talk to them again. I would just say, hey, I called up the title company. Everything's good to go. If you don't mind, could you send me a proof of funds letter? So when I do get these deals, these off-market deals, we can move on them quickly. I'm going to give them to you at a discount so that you can make money and we could have this as a long-term relationship. If they don't want to send you a proof of funds letter at that point, I'd be like, okay, well, I just want to let you know, without that proof of funds letter, I'm not going to be able to send you the deals that, I am going to be coming across. If you do change your mind, great. I'd love to talk with you, but I appreciate your time and I'll talk to you later. That's it. End of story. You do not want to waste time on people that aren't doing business, or they want to take your wholesale deals and then wholesale them off to other people. If that's the case, let them be upfront and honest with you, because then you could do a JV deal. You could do a JV deal with them, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
Because if they do have cash buyers and those cash buyers have already been vetted, then that person should be upfront and honest with you and be like, hey, I'm not actually the buyer. I'm a wholesaler, but I have a buyer that's interested. We can close. Great. Okay. Just tell me that upfront. Don't be a liar. I can't stand liars. You know what I mean? This is really good from Charlie. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for responding and giving me excellent advice and motivation. Absolutely, Charlie. Love that feedback. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, that's why we do these live deals. We love being able to help out folks and give them insight. Go ahead, Mike. Were you going to say something?
No, I was just kind of going along with you don't, yeah, you shouldn't. I'm glad you brought it up that you shouldn't just discount them right away just because they haven't closed. Just because sometimes they got new title companies, sometimes maybe they moved into a new market. You just maybe there's some other underlying reason. They most people aren't just going to come out and lie to your face and be totally completely untruthful. So there might be something, maybe just maybe. So asking them for a proof of funds, because if they really do have funds available and you can see that it's plain as day, it's not some hack job POF letter, but it's an actual, hey, I've got funds available to buy properties and I've been building this up, or however it's presented as the POF. Which be a statement of the funds they have available. Then obviously maybe they do have proper, maybe they do have liquidation to be able to buy a property. Maybe this is their first deal, and like Jason said earlier, they've been saving up and saving up and saving up, and now the opportunities open up, the floodgates are starting to open, people are starting to get frantic again, and now they were saving up this money, and now it's available, or it's been available, but now it's like the time.
Yeah.
So why would you discount that person just because somebody is new? Doesn't mean they're not hungry. So, don't discount those people.
Yeah, absolutely. David brought up a great point here, and this is why I like saying what I just said. Telling them thanks, but no thanks if they won't show POF demonstrates strength and confidence. Because a lot of people, when they get into real estate, brand new or whatever, they get all super excited, and they want to be able to do whatever they can to get their first deal done. And so what they'll do is they'll take that cash buyer, and that person may not be a legit cash buyer, and they'll just exhaust all of their time into that individual. And I'm telling you right now, it's a complete waste of time. Don't do that. Do the things that we just did and craft and create it to your own. Make it your own. But I wouldn't waste time on people that want to waste your time, because time is so valuable. It's something that we can't buy more of.
I'm pointing at what we got going on. Do this stuff right here. Okay. And
Yeah.
read what these people are saying.
Yep. Al just said, being a realtor. Also, I found a title company that has grant money and much lower FICO scores available for buyers found on LinkedIn. Cool. Great share. Rebecca, nice job, guys. Thanks for sure. I'm in SLC2. Rebecca, are you the one also in SLC? Cool.
Yeah.
So
Love the
yeah,
back and forth, you guys. That's awesome.
yeah, for sure. So let's we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show you here. Cool too that David, I like this, as we're doing this, connected. So I'm gonna click accept and look at this. Boom. Wrote a little thing. David, awesome for taking action. If you guys aren't connected with me on LinkedIn, make sure you guys do that. And you can see as soon as that pops up, his message came to me. So great job. Love that you took the initiative and did that.
That is cool.
That was cool. I'm glad you did that. Anybody else on here too, make sure you guys go ahead and connect with both Mike and I. Would love to be connected with you guys. So let's go over just one more thing here. I don't want to take up too much more of your guys' time, but for finding cash buyers, typically real estate or real estate investor is a term that you could use. You're going to have so much more with real estate. You can see 9.4 million. So some of these people are going to be agents. The main reason why I like to take that list down is simply because a lot of the individuals that have real estate are more than likely agents. But you could always, if you aren't finding enough people, then yeah, I would highly recommend going and doing real estate. Now, the other thing too is if you're just starting off with using LinkedIn, activate the premium. You could use it for a month for free. Just make sure that you cancel it if you don't like it, 2 or 3 days before it actually expires. And then you'll be good to go, because the other thing too is they cap you out at how many profiles you can see. Now, the thing around that is going into the groups and connecting with people in the groups. So also too with premium, you could do some really cool things for finding folks. So let's take a look here. So this is, we need to go here. So I'm going to go second and third connection. Let's go back here to Des Moines. And I'm going to see, is everything coming in okay from a sound standpoint?
Yeah, everything's good right now.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look at Steve. And you can see right here, URL is not set up. 142 connections. We have one mutual group. So far, it's not really that good. So I would probably pass. Main reason, again, it's just not an active individual. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to our thing here and let's take a look at Joyce. She's got a picture. So real estate entrepreneur, 30 connections. So right off the bat, no. So yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Let's take a look at Ryan. I like the picture. Very cool. 265 connections. He's right on the cusp, but we've got 5 mutual connections and no groups. So that might be somebody that we're not going to want to connect with. And it's not necessarily anything on him. It's just, I want to be able to have some sort of a hook and angle so that we could connect with that person. So the big thing too is you could have a virtual assistant do all of this stuff for you. If you don't have the C2 connections, no, that doesn't make sense. You could have a virtual assistant go and do all of this for you. You could see that it can be somewhat time consuming. So I don't want you to get, in the spot of, oh man, this is going to be a lot. This is going to be time consuming.
Well, you could do a loom. Yeah, you could do a loom, record it, edit out all this, like the searches like we're doing right now. You could even take this YouTube video and share it with a virtual assistant and say, hey, these are the terms I want you to use with this process. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I would probably make my own video specifically with what I'm looking for, but you see where I'm saying, like you can screencast-o-matic, Loom, I think Zoom record. Yeah, Zoom will record. So many different ways for you to just record this real quick, get a VA and say, hey, build up a list of connections. In our training, we've actually talked about hiring, like Jason, that's why I think he's brought it up. But we do talk about hiring a VA and the different things you should use, like different tools you can use to make sure the VA is doing it right and how you keep track of it. And you can implement all this stuff. I mean, it's not hard to figure out, setting up a spreadsheet, a shared spreadsheet on Google Sheets and tracking everything. So good point.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is Susan. And we have 2 mutual groups. She's got 500 plus connections. She's got the profile image. Thing that I don't like is that she doesn't have the URL thing, but you know what? 500 plus connections, the 2 mutual groups, we've got 12 mutual connections. Those are good. Plus she took a little bit of time to do her profile, and she's a sales professional, investor partner. She's been, it looks like she's been in real estate for a really long time. So that's good. That's a good sign. And cool. So why don't we do this? Remember Susan's name, okay? Susan Sanders. I don't think anybody could forget that name because it's not that hard.
Because if it was tough, my memory is super short.
So here's the groups that we're in. So this is going to be a good point that we could also bring up because these are shorter names. So let's do this. The real estate networking group. So I'm going to click on that, and I've got to do this with my screen. Got to do the special share thing. Let's see here.
Really making sure that you guys can see it step by step. I think that's important. And Dave, I like what he said. I'm sure you got some great 2nd and 3rd level connections.
So here we are. We're on here. So we've got see all. Now let's go ahead and remember that individual's name, right? So Susan Sanders. So we've got Susan right here. Look at this. We could send her a message. And here's what my message is going to be. It's going to be a little bit different. Hi, Susan. I saw that we're both members of the real estate networking group, and I wanted to reach out. I'm coming across off-market properties in your area. I wanted to see if we could do some business. Now, you guys, am I worried about characters right now? I'm worried about the 300 characters. Nope. There's no character problems when I'm wanting to connect with this individual through sending a direct message. Does that make sense, Mike? I don't have to worry about it. I could send my message, but again, I don't want it to be long anyways. I don't really want it to be longer than like maybe 300 to 320 words. I don't, or characters, whatever it is. I don't want it to be long anyways. I want it to be short, to the point, to where I get a response. That's the main thing that I'm wanting to do. Does that make sense, Mike?
Yeah.
All right.
No, but seriously, does it, guys? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not just, hey, I'm going to be able to send them a message. It's, hey, I can send the message I need to send. I can communicate with this person the way I need to, not just, the way everyone else is. I'm going to stand out. Susan's going to be like, oh, I'm going to hit Susan a little bit differently than everyone else on LinkedIn is hitting Susan, especially as a new person.
Right. Exactly. So I just sent Susan that message. So whoever is in Des Moines, I've sent off a couple. If I get somebody to respond back, I'll make the connection for you guys.
I hope Des Moines guys connected with you so they can become second and third connections with those people.
Yeah. I would honestly, though, I would recommend go on to my profile here and let me show you. Now, you can't automatically go into all these groups as quickly as possible, but here's the deal. You go to groups right here, and you can go to these groups. Now, you're not going to be able to join all of these groups all at once. You're going to probably be able to send off 10 to 12 requests to join. And when you do that, you'll be able to get into these groups, and then you could get into more and more groups. Now, it's great to do this from a standpoint of once you start getting into these groups, you could start having mutual interests when you start connecting with other individuals. So come on here on my profile and just go ahead, go on all these groups and request access. It may take 1 to 2 days, depending on how active the management is in that group. So let's see here. Sent Mike a connect. Cool. Yeah, we'll make sure to connect.
Yeah, I just accepted. I sent you a message in the chat too. Yeah, if you send me a connection, that'd be awesome because yeah, I love it. I mean, appreciate you being here, hanging on with us for this long and sticking with us while we talk about not just some really good stuff on what you should be doing in the upcoming weeks. Again, all this stuff is derived from Jason and our conversations internally on our own business planning for the next couple of weeks, plus the rest of 2020. So everything here isn't just, it's not just some canned thing. It's, hey, what are we doing right now? And with the people we talk to, because we do have an education side, the students that we have, the challenges that they come across, what is it that we should be not just focusing on ourselves, but could we talk about to help some people out? Because here it is. A lot of the stuff we talk about is information you should just have. This is basic level how I'm going to get my business off the ground and do a strategy, do a real estate strategy. You need buyers. You need people to sell properties to. So this is a great way to get started without having to even start looking at, training like, hey, this is the ground level thing. I need people to sell properties to. Okay, well, that's first step. I don't even need to get involved in training. I can just come on, a YouTube live with some people and figure out what they're doing and replicate that, and then I can start thinking about the strategy. Okay, because I need to start investing in the marketing. Well, that's where you're going to want to put most of your income or your investment in the beginning is first off, implementing a good strategy, something that's going to get the phone to ring. And then second, marketing to that strategy so you can get the phone to ring. Now that you know what to do to get it to ring, now you actually get it to ring. What we talk about a lot here with cash buyers is standing out. How can you be different than other people? Same thing, with the leads and the incoming stuff that you're going to be investing your money into with the marketing, being different, standing out. It all ties together, and it's all, hey, what do you need to do today? I would take a document and based on what we talked about right now, at the top, say build cash buyers. And then one, in an outline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I going to do? Then reference this video. Okay, well, I'm gonna go on LinkedIn and do this. Make sure it's labeled out for you, so you can then, while you're on LinkedIn, look at your document. Write it down on a piece of paper. I don't care. but look at it and be like, okay, I send my connection. I'm looking over, like I'm looking at something. Now I type this message. Okay. Next step. Great. I'm done. I'm going to repeat that again. Pretty soon I don't need to look at it anymore. Now I'm doing it over and over again. But then you're onto the strategy of building up your leads and so forth. So it all flows.
Yep, absolutely. Rebecca, thank you so much. I will spread the word about you guys training. Awesome.
Love that.
Truly appreciate you. That's awesome stuff. Does anybody else have any questions at all before we go ahead and end? Just a quick reminder, I'll show you guys the screen again as you guys are putting some questions, because we are with it. Whenever we do live streams, there's always a little bit of lag. So we'll say something and just have to wait a little bit for you guys to respond. So if you guys have any other questions about any of the things that we are doing from today, if you have any questions about some of the videos that we've done over the past few days as well, please don't be shy. Let us know, because we are here to be helpful and give you guys whatever you need so that we can all be seeing the results that we want within our business, within life, with all that good stuff. So one of the things I'll show you as well that we're doing tomorrow, and I think, Mike, you'll probably be on this one, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. What time is it at? 12?
Yeah, we're at 12 tomorrow. So 12 on a Saturday. Matt's going to go for about an hour. So maybe set aside an hour. And the best thing to do is just click this button right here. Mike, can you see it?
I think take the text down. I think the text is in the way.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Let me do that. Good point, Mike. Let me also take off. And again, if you guys have questions, make sure you guys are taking a look and dropping your questions in, so you guys can see everything's all set up for tomorrow. Just click this button right here. So watch what happens when I do it. Boom, it goes on. It's gonna show me, and it's gonna come to my phone. So as soon, like maybe like a half hour before we start, you'll receive a reminder on your phone, and we'll be on here. And we'll be going over stuff tomorrow as well. Matt's really a great friend, and he always shares a ton. We have a good time. Yeah, he's really good.
He's an awesome guy to learn from, for sure. And yeah, you know what? Another point, Jason. I don't know if you want to drop my email in there. If you want to reach out.
Yeah, if you guys, and Rebecca just sent friend requests, I will make sure that I accept that friend request from you. So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Rebecca. And I appreciate that you appreciate training like this. So let's see here, Mike's email. Let's show that. So if you guys have any questions above and beyond this training, feel free. Michael@jasonluchese.com. I'll leave it up on the screen here for a little bit. If you guys also too, we'll stay on just for a little bit longer if you guys have any questions, but make sure to give us a thumbs up if you really enjoyed this, and it really helps us out with getting this information out to other folks as well, because right now is some crazy times, and if we could just help shed some light and give some insights on what we're doing, things that are helpful, that would be great, because over 22 plus million Americans have filed for unemployment. So if there's anything that we can do to help during this difficult time, that's something we would like to do. So Mike's email is up. I don't see any other questions coming in, but if they do, we'll be more than happy to answer them. Mike, any parting words from you at all?
On these videos, when we do these lives, every once in a while, we'll drop a link or something, or we'll drop our email in here to actually reach out to us and connect with us. And we encourage that, and we ask you to approach it like you would approach, a real connection with anybody else. I'm going to connect with Mike. I'm going to send him an email, all right, I really do want to connect with people, and I want you to reach out, like with the expectation of, hey, there's a real person on the other end of this. Jason's on the other end of this as well. Like when you email me, I usually forward him messages, especially if it's a connection or somebody wants to get involved with us, or they're just curious and they're like, hey, you guys, I'm doing this and I'm not sure it's the right direction, or whatever it is, or we got a deal, and it's not like, I'm not asking you to do all this work for me, but hey, I'm an investor, and I got a problem here, and this is my problem. Clearly you guys want to help people because you spend an hour and a half or 1 hour or whatever it is on YouTube and talking to us about this stuff. If you know what can I do with this, or what can I do with that, or do you have suggestions with this or that? And we're more than happy to point you in the right direction if it's not something that we're involved with, or if it's something that we know of, or a resource that we use. Hey, you know, we use this guy. We're happy to kind of pass that along. Jason and I have an awesome group, Wholesaling Houses Virtually.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in that group, I swear, you know, if anything that you want as far as information, tips, tricks that we don't cover on YouTube lives in depth, because this is where we do it in detail, that's where you're going to find all the upper level, like, okay, is it funding that I'm having trouble with? Is it lead source I'm having trouble with? Is it entity I'm having trouble with? Whatever. So, I mean, we can go on forever. We drop different links, different resources. We drop when we do these YouTube lives. And then, you know, we have a community. We keep all the riffraff out, all the hard money lenders and people that are saying they're private money. Hey, I've got tons of private money. Do you want to borrow it? Nobody does that, you know, but we try to keep it with, like, it's just a real community of investors, good engagement. People love connecting and communicating with each other. If you don't email us, then find us on this group. You know, I mean, we're in there all the time, and we're always just trying to spread the word, you know, like at some point, the goal here is for you and us to work together professionally, whether that's from an education standpoint or more preferably closing a deal. Because in the end of every single scenario revolving real estate education, real estate, anything, the most profitable ends is closing a deal. That is the most profitable ends. And deal partnering, like Jason was talking about, with finding cash buyers, JVing with deals, like we would love to be JV partners with you guys. And especially if you're attending these videos and learning, okay, here's how I can develop a deal. Here's how I can track down the information. Here's this, that, and the other. Then it's not even like an education thing. Then it's like, hey, I've got this deal. I watched your YouTube video. I did this thing, and this guy reached out to me. He says would like to sell, or he's looking for this. You got something, or can we do something? Yeah, let's take it to the next level. Let's take what you spend an hour and a half on here to the next step.
Yep. No, I agree. Great stuff. Group is up there. Wholesaling Houses Virtually. Find us on Facebook too if you guys would like to join the group. It's just another way for us to get to know one another as well. But yeah, other than that, I don't see any other questions coming in. Everybody that's on right now, thank you so much for being with us. Truly appreciate you. Tons of great engagements today. And, you know, we like doing these lives, and any videos like the one we just did on Wednesday on list stacking. That was a really solid video. I would highly recommend it. That was just a video. It wasn't a live stream, but I packed a ton of information in there for you as well. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, Mike's email is on the screen, michael@jasonluchese.com. You can find us at Wholesaling Houses Virtually. And also too, if you have questions after this and you want to post your questions below this video, I do respond to everybody. Sometimes if it's at night, I'm not going to be able to respond because I'm sleeping, but I do get back to everybody pretty in a timely manner. So I don't see any other questions coming in. Mike, thanks for taking time out of your schedule as well to do this. And I will see everybody on tomorrow. Hopefully everybody will be there as well. So yeah, I was just going to say, I'll see you next week, but we're actually going tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, Mike.
See ya. Thanks, Jason.
See ya. Bye, guys.